In this tutorial we'll have a look how to modify our text in more ways. Now the aim of this tutorial is not to actually create something that's really good looking, rather it's to show you tools and ways you can apply different effects to your text and use your imagination and your art creativity to actually create some very good looking logos and artwork and so on. So the first technique that we're gonna look at, or the first tool we're gonna have a look at, is called the tool shape. So I have actually written some text here. I have enlarged it and centered it on my page. I'll zoom in a bit. Now the next thing I would like to do is with my pick tool, click on it and then right click and go to convert to curves. Now if you zoom in a bit more now, you will see that you have all these little nodes, and if you go to the tools menu and you choose the shape tool, now you can move these nodes and create different shapes of your letters, of course, or any shape for that matter. So basically this is mostly used when you're creating some sort of a logo and you would like your, for example, first letter to be different than the others. So basically you can just click and drag it, and for example you can create many different looking shapes. So like this, and then maybe we can go this way and so on. So what I would like to show you is actually a few other options you have. If you zoom in a bit more and if you click on the edge of the outline, a menu like this will pop up. So the first thing is that you can add more nodes. So adding more nodes will give you more flexibility with your work. So you can change it in a bit more directions like that. The next option will be to remove it, so delete it and it's gone. And you see, if you do not have that node, you can't really get that middle changing position. So that's a good thing. Also, you can change this to a curve. Now if you change it to a curve, what happens is that you actually create a curve rather than a straight line. So for example, we can see how this letter C has a sharp edge. So by converting it to a curve, which we already done, you can actually make it more round, and you can do the same with the top. Just click on it and drag it out, and now your letter C has curved edges. Also, if it's a curve, if you right click on it, you can change it to a line. Now what happens is that it goes, in this case, back to its original position, but it actually changes to a straight line. So you can do that here as well.
So I went ahead and I actually changed my W into something that, well, we can say looks like a bat or something. So basically this is the way you can apply the freehand tool here to actually change the look and the shape of your letter and create many different shapes of your letter. So basically you can create your own font of letters by actually typing any font and then changing it according to your needs. The next tool I would like to have a look at is called the smear tool, or as I call it, the root tool, and you'll see why. So once again, we'll go right click on our text and we'll convert to curves, and then we'll go to the tools menu and we'll find the smear tool here. So click on it and I will enlarge this so we can see. Basically what it does, it kind of adds roots to your image or your object. So you can use this in many different ways to create many different effects to your objects, and in this case to your text. So just drag and move your cursor and you will create all these different shapes and images. And you can also like add little roots to your text like this to get that effect. And also you can just go right across the text and this will add this sort of effect to it. So basically there's a really large number of ways you can use this tool to apply to your text and to your design. Okay, moving down the list tool, you will find the Twirl tool, which is this one here, and we'll be using this now. So let's go back and let's first of all break this, convert this into curves. I'll zoom in a bit and then I'll select this tool. Now in the top properties bar you can actually select how big you want your tool to be. So this will select the radius, and the second option will actually select the rate. So all this is actually available for most of these tools you'll find in this flyout here. So let's go back and select our tool. I'll zoom in a bit more. Now where I like to use this tool is usually with the round objects, so we'll make it just a bit bigger. And also you can choose the rotation, you can go clockwise or anti-clockwise. So if I click and hold here, you will see that my center circle will start to rotate. If I let go, I will create that nice circular look. So basically you can do it on any object, and you can click on it and it will start twirling it, so you can create effect like that. But also you can click on your object and then start moving it, and you will create something like this. So you can see that there's many different ways in which you can apply this tool to actually enhance and make your graphics look better. So once again, your imagination. So once again, your imagination is the only boundary in this case. So let's see the other one work. We can throw it this way, and then we'll go the other side and we'll throw it this way. And of course you can still change the text of your the color of your text, the outline. The last two tools that we going to have a look at and how they work are actually the magnetic tools. Well, actually I just call them the magnetic tools. They are called the attract and repel. So let's try with attract first of all, but once again we have to right click on our text and convert it to curves. So if we select the attract tool, what it will do, it will attract the two nodes closer to each other. So for example, if I want to get rid of this white bit in our letter O, I can just click and hold and then let go, and you can see that the white bit has disappeared. Also we can do it with our letter E, but for this we'll actually make it a bit smaller. So we'll come down here, let's make it about that size. Now why I've made it smaller, because if I had the bigger tool it would go over here, and when I start attracting it, it will create something like this. But for this purpose I would just like to get rid of this white bit in my letter E, and there it is, it's gone. So I think you basically get the idea of how this works, and that basically is the attract tool. So it will attract two nodes together and bring them closer, and you can even make them overlap each other. The next tool is called the repel tool, and it will actually do the exact opposite. So if we look at those two nodes here on our letter R and I click in the middle, you will see that it will actually repel those two objects. So let's find another one and see how it works. Let's go with letter D, for example. and we'll make our tool a lot bigger. And if I click here, you will see that it will repel the nodes. In the letter A, so once again you can create some really cool looking effects just by using these basic tools here, and you will use them when you start working with your art design, and you will see that the more you use them, the better you will get at it, and you'll find many more different ways in which you can apply these techniques. So basically that's it on some of the basic tools that you can use to modify and edit your text. Of course, I have just done the text. You can basically perform the same operations on any basic shape and pretty much any object that you might be working with, and you can create, in this case what we've done, some effects to our text. So that's it in this tutorial on how to edit your text.